Hello, everybody. Welcome. We're going to do a final day of drafting here before I take a couple days off for Thanksgiving here in the U.S. For my YouTube friends. There should be one more video up after this. I have a spare video. Maybe I'll find some other stuff for the long weekend, but this is our last day of drafting before I take a little time off to be thankful. I'm thankful for you all here for sure. Thanks for coming early and choosing our format. We're going to jump into a Kaladesh Remastered best of 3 and then finish up a Zendikar draft we have going. That's going to be the other content that YouTube friends can look forward to tomorrow. And we've been talking about new secret lair stuff. And if you want to get something for your secret lair at home for your magic game, you're going to check cardkingdom.com. You know, they don't have secret lair stuff like for pre-order or whatever, because that's not how it works, but they got everything else that you can reasonably have, and if they don't have it in stock right now, you know they're looking for it. I love the Card Kingdom inventory, and I want you to remember that whenever you're thinking of a purchase for your tabletop magic game, just keep them in the loop, keep them in mind, and when you go check them out to see if they've earned your business, do it from the affiliate link in my panels in the YouTube notes or in chat, and then any business you do with them will reflect kindly upon my stream and help keep me on the air, and then we all get this this train continuing, right? That's the plan. And let's see what pick one has in store for us. Best of 3 Kaladesh, which they extended past when they expected to. I don't know when the last time anybody in chat here has been in a best of 3 Kaladesh. I don't know what we're expecting. Well, that snapped pretty full, so that's interesting, because I would say that, like, seems like it has a lot more legs than Amonkhet. Wouldn't you agree? Just feels like people were a little tired of Amonkhet by this time already in the life cycle of Kaladesh Remastered. What do we got here? Oh, I love a Cloud Blazer. It's a gold spell, but it's extremely splashable, and the set does enable some splashing, so you don't have to go into white blue to play Cloud Blazer. Our rare is a reasonable build around. It's not super exciting. I mean, you could make an argument for the expertise because it's single color and goes into more decks, but I'm going to go look at, I only got 21 seconds here. The underhanded designs is also an interesting build around. If you can get this going, you can get something. I'm too in love with Cloud Blazer, though. I'm just going to be honest with you. Also, look, there's no good green here. I think what I'm going to do is take the Cloud Blazer and see if any green slides our way, and then it's really, really splashable. And then we get an Etherborn. I like this card a lot. Thank you for the sub, Gaitsu. Familiar just kind of keeps us open. Revolution is solid. Etherborn is really good, but it's obviously oppressively colored, right? The black means that you need to be heavy black, or you need to accept this as part of your 2-spell turn 5 or whatever, as opposed to consistently getting it out on turn 2. Yeah, Map is a fine pick toward splashing Cloud Blazer. I also like Hunt the Weak. There's a lot of solid stuff here, but since Filigree is just playable in any deck in the format, and actually does, Hunt is totally on the table. And Map is good, but not the pick. If we're going to take a colorless card, let's just take the Familiar, which I am going to do. This goes in any deck, and we can get a little more information from our upstream passers before we kind of settle into anything here. Blossoming Defense is okay. Weldfast Engineer is okay, but Gold Poisoner is maybe the best card here. But Eddy Tail matches the Cloud Blazer. We could take the Hawk. I find this to be like a C at best. It has its ups and downs. You know, it gets better when you're the larger the thing that you are making fly, the better. So if you're not really doing this with green, it's not the best because you're not launching the best stuff. I don't know if it's even justifiable here, really. I'd rather just take the Poisoner. I think this is so much better than this. We just passed a good... and yeah, I've never really seen the Refurbish get it done. Yeah, actually, I'm taking the Pioneer. I kind of just saw that out of the corner of my eye. Somehow I missed that in the being in the pack. Looks like taking the black card would have been fine too. Another Poisoner and a Daring Demolition. I think we take the Daring Demolition here. Druid is reasonable. The Poisoner obviously good too. But yeah, the black seems open, right? So let's take that signal and take the Demolition here and see where we end up. And we get a Revoke here. We don't need to relive all of the debates from the last time we drafted this set, other than to say Aura-based removal has a lot of strikes against it in the format. It is still removal, but you don't take it thinking it's cha-ching, we did this. You're taking it thinking, okay, I got to use this carefully, and I got to use this knowing what its many weaknesses are. Hub, I would take this pretty... I mean, yeah, this could help a splash, that's true. I think I can't take it over Revoke, but I'm pretty reasonably high on Ether Hub. It does what you want. Jinx takes Hub, I'm taking the Revoke. And that's kind of where we're at. That's kind of signifies the debate we were having before, like, you know, just where do we take these aura-based removals? Renegade here is pretty good and heads us towards a white-black. This really is good in the white-black deck. White-black does revolt pretty well. So I like taking the Renegade and with an eye towards white-black revolt. And if we end up with enough maps and random stuff, we can still splash the Blazer even though we're not in green, which is one reason I don't mind taking the splashable gold card first, because there are tools to splash in the format outside of green, which is a big difference maker to me. I think we take a Fragmentize. This is incredible against the right decks, right? 1 mana to take out a 3 or 4 mana target, take out a Weldfast Monitor, like whatever. This and we're best of 3. I wouldn't be so excited about this if it were best of 1, but as a sideboard card in this format, it's quite good. And that's where I'm going to put it right now. Can never get this card to do what I want. I'm usually happy when my opponents play this card. I'm actually going to take Self-Assembler number 1. Or possibly a Cobra. I think it's... Or maybe Trade Winds. We have only seen the one black card now. Like, I think it's Trade Winds or Assembler. You could make a light argument for Cobra. Fenner wants the 2s. I don't think we're that desperate for 2s yet, being only pack 1. I'm going to take Self-Assembler because I really don't want a lot of those. Like if we get the Trade Winds, I just want like 1 maybe. So that's not a high priority for me. Rebuke is playable. Crusher is playable. Maybe Inspired Charge is what we're taking, though. We have, if we do end up back towards the black direction, we could end up making a lot of servos. And if we do end up making a lot of servos in the deck, this is a playable card. Yeah, Moray is playable too, Jinx. Their only blue card is Cloud Blazer. Maybe if you think Rebukes are signaling or something, but I don't, I think Rebuke and like Impeccable Timing are similar cards, Like, I can't take a Rebuke when this is not great, but playable, and this is maybe better than that. I guess Rebuke is better than Impeccable Timing in the abstract, but we know we're white, so I'm going to take the white card. Crusher. You take a Knot in case we end up red, or with the ability to splash easily. Again, Refurbish. Maybe we could take a Refurbish. None of those cards really matter. Maybe the Refurbish. I've never really made Refurbish work in the format, but I would play it if I was doing something like if we got a Gearsmith or some Gear Hulk, Oh, sorry. Yeah, I could have taken the Drake. I feel like I'm not blue, but we still could be. I think I'm tuning out blue when I shouldn't. You're right, but it just didn't feel like, even though there was blue there, it didn't feel good to me. Peace Walker is basically a white card, but it's not good enough to take. Like, it can crew vehicles without pilots, and it's a little too build-aroundy. You know, we have... did we even end up with one? We don't have a vehicle yet. Prism is tempting, but we probably just start on the demolition. I know that the black didn't keep flowing, so I don't necessarily think we're here. But the other option is the Prism. I don't want the gear... Or the gear shift ace. I guess you could make a case for the ace. We did pick up these impeccable timings, which give us something to do, but I'm going to go ace, actually. I don't trust the black yet. I know we're white, and I know we need some early stuff still. This does not count as having 2 drops, so that was really only our second 2 drop. It felt important to note the 2s. Yeah, and Dawnfeather Eagle is interesting, but I think we just want Thopter Arrest, right? Y'all don't want Thopter Arrest? I want an Eagle, but it's pack 2. We'll get an Eagle, no worries. I'm taking the Arrest. I wonder what our second color is. Another Ether Hub we could consider. Some of that sweet, sweet aura removal. Fateful Showdown. Nah, just a Pioneer, I guess? Yeah, I guess it's Pioneer. Yeah, Peacock is takeable, but I don't see why I would take a 2-4 that I have to pay to activate to fly when I can just have a 3-2 that is flying and then and has the flexibility of making a servo if we do go wide. So yeah, Pioneer. Mono white with a touch of blue for Blazer. This is a great pickup for where we're at. We could take a Daredevil Dragster too, but Artisan is kind of a linchpin card for the type of deck we're getting into here, and we don't have much at 3, and we don't have any artisans yet, so I'll take that. There's a Mechanic. There's also this Bruiser. I, at this point, would rather just take the Mechanic. Maybe we'll get a one of those Angels, 6-drop Angels that you can bring back with the Mechanic and re-blink. You know, there's all sorts of weird stuff you can do in white with blinking. And then we're passing not my ice over again, more aura removal. And if we're going to do aura removal, we've got Thopter Arrest, Revoke Privileges. That's what we're going to try to do here with those. Another Inspired Charge. Die Young if we want to add, if we do want to do a little bit of black. I'm more inclined to go with the Blazer secondary plan. We can just take another Mechanic here. Yeah, I think we're just on Mechanic. You like the Dragster, First Strike Dragster is pretty interesting. That's true math. I'll take the Dragster and we'll see. Maybe, I don't know how open white is. It's possible we like wheel another gear shift ace, in which case, or get another one somewhere down the line, in which case I agree, this is pretty great. So yeah, trade wins could be worth it for us as a late game card, rebuying Cloud Blazers, etc. So yeah, this is a place where we can pick up a trade wins. Here's another playable card that when we get to the blue does a little bit more. We don't have much at 4. Yeah, rebuying Fabricates is cool. It's not amazing, but you know, it's an extra 1/1. Just making sure there's no way we need to do something else with, like, Solvent, Ambition. No, all right. Yeah. Whoa! I accidentally took something there. You can see I didn't mean to. Hopefully, anybody get a glimpse of what we just took? See if we can figure it out. Now, we had 2 Pioneers. You go on the sideboard. Now I had a charge. Foundry Screecher, I guess, might... Oh, Artisan, there it is. I don't know why it didn't show up till now, but it's clearly the artisan. Conviction over Peafowl number 2. I don't know if we're going to play Conviction, but it can do some stuff. So we'll take that. I wonder what we missed on that Conviction, that other pick, though. I'm going to put this in the board for now. Yeah, I could go report it, and I'm sure get a... That's not a bad last pick. It plays here. Ooh, Stockpile makes it interesting. We've kind of been assuming that we are doing the blue secondary color plan, but Stockpile is a reason to consider black. Also because we have the Demolition to go with it. Shrewd Negotiation. Yeah. That's a decent card, too, when we're spitting out these 1/1s. I like it better when you're spitting out some... Nah, not really. If this were a late game splash, sure. But I think as an early game card, it doesn't jump out at me. Yeah, you're right, Jinx. Maybe the blue card was correct. I got enamored with the Stockpile, and we'll see if that messes me up. But... could have been right to take the switcheroo. Midnight Oil is playable in the deck, but another Artisan is just more what we're trying to do here. If I wheel the Hawk, that's fine. I mean, I still want some, like, we're not playing this right now. I don't even think we're necessarily playing this right now. But I'll leave it in as we figure out our second color, but Artisan is fine. Timeout thinking about Midnight Oil? Is that what you... Well, I'm taking the Artisan. Servo Exhibition. We do have the one Inspired Charge that does that thing. It's a little kind of weak, though. It's all it does. You know, makes a couple of servos. That's it. Malfunction is interaction removal. We have Thopter Arrest, Revoke Privileges... Yeah, I suppose I think Fenwar and Math are right that we don't have enough interaction yet. We'll take Malfunction. This is fine, but it's not. Well, you can take it here, I suppose, or we can just take an Eddie Tail Hawk. I mean, I think of these as pretty similar in how I like. Yeah, they do something, but not amazing stuff. We can take the Die Young and still consider the black. I'll just take I'll take Eddie Tail. Well, Die Young is a kill two things card. It's you don't need energy. It's got energy built in. Die Young says 2 mana, sorcery, target creature gets -2/-2. Full stop. Restoration Gearsmith says, yeah, we're still considering the black. I'm taking it. Another one? Yeah, now we kind of have to. What? When the third pack tells you that you're a black deck. And then an Essence Extraction? I guess we take this too. Yeah, I'll cut the blue in deck building. No worries. We are now a black deck. Maybe if we had a way, I might still splash the Cloud Blazer, but I don't see how. Fragmentize for the board. We have one in there, but a second is good. Blazer, you got beat by triple Restoration Gearsmith. You were in the lead for a long time, buddy. Crusher. I don't know if we're doing any of those. You got the Crusher. I don't think we're playing the Crusher, that's all. Here's a Subtle Strike, though. That's cool. Another fragmentize. And, you know, with some decks, you'll bring in 3 if that's what they're doing. Yeah, I'm probably not playing either. A Gear Shift Ace just being a 2/1 first strike is fine. Let's cut this blue. Well, not playing that. We might play that. Not playing this Peafowl. Let's get to the deck building view for you. And now we're just like that. If we cut the Dragster, now we're only down to 1 cut. And at topping out at 5, you can even make an argument for cutting a land. But I think with all the Restoration Gearsmiths, we'll keep the land. We want to have some multi-spell turns late. Yeah, let's look at our overall count. 14-10. Maybe we just want to cut one of these timings. They're not very good. They get something though. That's the thing. They're not very good, but they're not. Their floor is usually getting something. One question is, do we bring something in? We can even bring like a second Mastodon over timing, kind of like that even. Right? That looks better on the numbers too. 15 creatures with that. Yeah, we can put in a Fragmentize. That's true. We could cut all the timings and put in a Fragmentize. Yeah, and they are good in combination with the Ace. I mean, if we cut the timings, then we're looking at removal suite of Subtle Strike, Revoke Privileges, Thopter Arrest, Daring Demolition. Is that enough, or do we want to add find room for a timing? Kind of like these end up overperforming. The Vigilance is surprisingly good, and the 5 Toughness surprisingly good. So I kind of like having 2 of these. I think this is good enough to keep. I mean, we could cut the Inspired Charge. I'll cut it so we can get to going, but I do think this has yeah, Gearsmith, I just have never liked the Dragster, because unless we're giving it first strike, there's so many servos in the format that just say, okay, yeah, we'll take 5. So I'm going to go with this. We can adjust. We're best of 3, though, so we'll do some sideboard adjustments and some mid-match adjustments if we want. But interesting draft. The white latched onto us pretty quickly, or we latched onto it, but figuring out the second color was a middle pack 3 affair. So what do we call this? Don't be a drag. And anybody redeem any bling sleeves from Mama? Oh, I need to add like typing something in. What do you? Let me know what sleeves you want, Mama. I'm going to choose some lands if nobody else is interested. And I've used, let's use Zendikar Fulls today. I missed it. Or maybe you just did it right when I missed it. No problem, though. It's pretty quick. Gotta respect the bling. Set KLR. Avon Plains. And Paquette Swamp. Oh, there's multiples. That kind of has the same swirly that the... This kind of has artistic connection, right? We'll do that. I don't like that we're not starting until 3, but we do have a clean turn 3 play I'm going to keep. Couple of swamps away from a daring demolition, but if the game goes long enough, we'll get there and be happy to have that. Mechanic, sure, we're going to curve out. Swoop, swoop, swoop. I don't have the discipline to hold the mech, or maybe you don't have the discipline to play it. Like, one of us is wrong, but I don't know. I feel like curving out, when I don't know what exactly my opponent is up to, I'm going to play towards curving out. Although now we're in a spot where we're not doing anything. But that's a combo that doesn't do, like, that's a way late combo. And we have more of these. Fragmentize. Not going to use this on a servo or anything. White-blue, we know that much of their removal is going to be fragmentizable, so... Alright, I'll take it. It can at least block an Admiral. So I don't like this card very much. I mean, if you're making vehicles fly, I suppose it can do some stuff, but like largely I think this is worse than the common Pioneer. Obviously, if you're doing the vehicle thing, that Admiral takes a big jump in power, but as a 3/1 flyer for 4, it's quite medium. Well, I hope they don't have something to blow me out for this block, but it looks like a safe one. I gotta take it. Take the block, that is. Take the offer to block that. All right. Something. This is why I wasn't too excited, though, like, even with getting a swamp where we don't want to play a Gearsmith. I mean, I'm with... Jinx and I would have played the mechanic differently, but I'm not going to play a no-value Gearsmith when it's not significantly getting in on this board anyway. So we'll wait. That's a big game. Love a swamp. It's like, give me a swamp. Oh, I really wanted a swamp so we could kill this Rashmi. We're going to lose to Rashmi if we don't find an answer. Play the Gearsmith, though. Or the Gear Shift. Frag the Fox. Oh, yeah, to look for the swamp. Is that worth it? Are we there? It's an interesting line. Yeah, let's start with an attack with Fox. I like that. That's a great point, Fenor. We can at least do that. And also a great point that we get it back with the Gearsmith. Good lines, everybody. I like that we're keeping the fragmentized, though. I'm unhappy that we're not finding Swampy. Maybe we just make a Pioneer, though. Gearsmith could just get us back a familiar, but it doesn't actually, like, it needs to die to draw us a card. So, like, if we do the whole loop thing for that, we're not getting a card out of it anytime soon. I'm just gonna Pioneer, and I'm going to put the counter on it so it doesn't trade with, well, I'm gonna be Metallic Rebuked. Well, we can get that back over the filigree. I would love a swamp, though. I just want a swamp for Rashmi. And actually, it looks good. Like, if we had found a swamp, we would have gotten our demolition countered. So perhaps we have actually bought the... You know, we got the right whiff. If we block with everything, they take out the eddy tail, and then they have attacks in the air. So we're going to say no blocks here. Now that's something we can fragmentize. Swamp would be perfect. There we go. There we go. We're back in it, everybody. We're back in it. Gotta kill this, or we just lose to it, and then gotta kill this, or we just lose to it. We're not in great shape, no, but that, we needed a swamp there or we were basically dead, right? And now, instead...
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
That's going to lead to some air damage, unfortunately. This is making me really want to get the Pioneer back. Yeah, we're pretty overwhelmed, so I think we're mostly dead is still an accurate description of our situation. I mean, no, look at Oppo. They've hit every land drop and literally dumped their last card. They are tapped out, no cards in hand. Like, there's an efficiency level to what's happened here that's just very difficult to beat. Anything we can do about it? Anything we want to show them or not show them? We have, we can go gear shift and glint sleeve and get pretty wide ourselves. But then we're just dead to the flyers. I think we just cash this one in, gang. We can't come back here. Played the lines we could, stumbled on mana at the wrong time, and they snuck in some bombs. They just curved out perfectly. Like, that was pretty rough to try and combat. But let's take a look at what we might combat against. We did see, you know, we didn't see any actual of the aura removal that I would want to bring in. We did see a Whirler Maker, and the... I think currently I'm still just on the one. I don't want to take this Fragmentize out, but I don't want to add new ones. Would you agree? Anybody want to change our Fragmentize count? Yeah, given what we can bring in, which is not much. Third timing? What do you mean? You mean first time? Like, we don't have any timings in. timing as a solution to flyers? Is it better than, I mean, you want it over subtle strike? You want it over fragmentize? You can't tell me to bring in something, Rob, without telling me what you'd cut. It's easy to tell the streamer what to bring in. It's hard to tell the streamer for what. Maybe for the inspired charge? Doesn't seem like we're going to be getting around them. Screecher at least trades with the 2-powered flyer, and if you presume, yeah, and this, like, I don't mind. I mean, the Screecher at least trades in the air, so I'm keeping the Screecher in. Let's do that. We'll bring in an impeccable timing because it does pick off the mid-sized flyers they showed, and we'll cut inspired charge because it doesn't look like the way we're gonna win. I still like 2 elephants. I think they're defining our top end with them is fine. But I'll consider that. Maybe we'll see if we want an elephant to be a timing in this game. Well, another lack of a 2 right now, but much better looking opener all told. So now, Screecher to block or Artisan to attack. But this is just still big and huge and much harder to multi-block, and it's a good card. I like it. Vigilance. It's a good 5. Just trying to figure out if we're racing or looking to block. Screech and block. Because if we want to race, we play the Artisan to get more power out. I hate trading on the play because we're already down a card. But it's kind of what this is here to do. I said the reason I wanted to keep the Screecher in is that it trades in the air. It's trading down, and they get to keep a card out of it, but that was kind of its job. It is the job we signed it up for. I'm going to keep this as a 3-3. Yeah, we could have not. I mean, that's the thing. Just because you bring a card in for a job A doesn't mean that in context you don't say, well, because of the context, we're going to give it job B instead. Holy moly. Peter Gabriel, help me. Oh, here comes the flood. And meanwhile, Oppo again, yeah, going 2, 3, 4. Give me a frickin' break. Sometimes magic, you know. We've been 2, 3, 4 guy sometimes. 2 spell 5? Oh yeah, and then the 2 spell 5. Eddie Tail Hawk is the flyer that really is terrible in the air for us. And of course, it's the spell we finally draw. Do we want to trade an Artisan for a Theorist? Probably not, so we'll just send the Mastodon. Yeah, I'm already feeling like if we somehow find a win, I'll be amazed. We've flooded way too hard, and the spell we finally drew was about as good as a land. Maybe they wouldn't. Maybe that's a reasonable place to test Oppo Baron, but also I feel like if we do lose a glint sleeve to the Theorist, we just are in such bad shape back the other way. Although we do have Mastodon to block, maybe it's worth risking it because what is it doing anyway? I mean, that's really the question. If it's not doing anything else, sure, offer it up. All right, some air. We need to solve a flyer off the top of the deck, or I don't know how we win. Flyer solution, ready? Okay, that qualifies. I will qualify that as flyer solution today. Yeah, we get to eat the 3/2 and not lose anything ourselves if Oppo's out of action. We want to see a bottom here. Uh-oh, scry to the top. Yikes. Yeah, I really wanted to see scry to the bottom because I don't know how we continue to beat good draws from Oppo, but we have something. We have a plan here. Yeah, that's the secret, right? You think we're losing to the Spire Patrol and the Hinterland Drakes, but actually we're losing to the double Theorists right now. If you're fast enough, these are bad because they don't have time to be effective. But if you get into if they let you survive and then start effectively giving you a card draw turn in terms of sheer quality. All right, well, here we go. Game time. I'm going to block first because we got to block no matter what. Fingers crossed. Okay. Well, Ice Over suggests we could bring in another Fragmentize, although currently wouldn't want to. I like currently still like the 1. This is presuming we could even make it to a game 3, but we get a good draw here. We could be in it. Should we get a good draw? Come on, deck. Come on. We will say goodbye to flesh and blood. Got them chumping, though. They're the ones chumping. Yeah, we wanted a good draw to see if we could actually pull ahead here. Yeah, maybe they just kept the Prism. I don't know. Some people don't scry very well. Some people will keep anything that's not land, which may be what happened there. But could have been the Implement, too, right? They just decided they wanted to draw 2. They got a lot of filtering and a lot of card quality outs to us, though. You think... Uh-oh. So this can become a 5/5, which means we need another... Well, we need action. I keep saying that. This is killable by Fragmentize. Maybe now I'm up to 2 Fragmentize. All right, make it interesting, deck. This is your last chance. All right. All right, one of those days. I am grateful and thankful. All right, all right. Ignominious. We really didn't do much, but our deck really didn't cooperate, so whatever. That was just some variance-based non-magic, unfortunately. It was still kind of interesting. Still had some outs. Still, game one was pretty good. Like we had a, you know, at least a plan. It wasn't really good. We just got slaughtered in game one, didn't we? But at least we had. Nobody punted me. I'm trying to find the silver lining here, gang. we did the best we could with the cards our deck delivered, and here we're going to do that again with a mulligan here. Yeah, I gotta keep this, and we're gonna ditch this charge. Late game card that we don't need right now. Hey Queef, good game. Good game. Just saying, I flooded so hard. I mean, you effectively curved out. Your first game curve out was absurd. Like, we looked at your turn 6, it was like, turn 6, they are completely tapped out, and their hand is empty, and their board is full. That was really one of the more absurd curve outs I've seen in the format, honestly. Then in the second game, we just flooded and couldn't do a dang thing. We're trading mechanic here. If we don't, what's the plan? If we don't trade for mechanic, eventually it just trades up for something like a mastodon or artist. I'm going to trade off here. We also have we have 3 gearsmith gear. We have 3 we have 3 lands. No, sorry, only 2. Only 2. But we're going to fragment a monitor. That's something. One of those days so far, indeed, but I'm going to keep my good humor. There's nothing bad happening to me. Because let me tell you, if the, quote, bad thing happening to you is you're having some rough luck in Magic the Gathering, you probably live in an okay existence. Yeah, on average, this is perfect. All right, well, I won't give up the game yet then. I'm going to go wide here because we have stockpile. If we come up with a swamp, we may want to stockpile and sack the servo to get the scry train going. Right. My health is reasonably good. Although I've been feeling my age lately. Let me tell you, waking up stiff takes on a whole new meaning when you're in your late 40s. Pioneer looking to block in the air, so I'm gonna go wide. Would even trade off an artisan, I suppose. I'll attack. What else am I doing with this thing? All right, maybe that didn't work out exactly how I wanted. Maybe we're gonna die soon. maybe our deck has 2 colors. Maybe. Trouble is, without the swamp there, it means we're still 2 swamp draws away from demolishing the Screecher, so I'm feeling pretty grim about our chances to solve that Screecher before we're dead. We do have, what do we have? We have Eddie Tail Hawk that could chump. We have Revoke Privileges, Thopter Arrest, and 1 other Propeller Pioneer, and that's basically our answers here. So we have outs, but we need them right quick. I'll still send the Artisan. Should have done that before I bothered playing a Mastodon, but again, I'm just kind of throwing this Artisan at their face or their creatures, whatever they want. Exactly. What are we blocking? Servos can threaten to block the Pioneer and the Servo, but we're not blocking the Monitor. All right, red, black, heavy removal-ish. What do we see? I want to look at the, we got 3 Fragmentizes, so we want to keep an eye on that. We've got a Weldfast Monitor and a Key to the City, both screaming to be fragmentized. Nothing else but Fireweaver. All of this does suggest that they are doing the artifact thing, so at least a couple Fragmentized seems correct here. We are going to be on the play. We have the Inspired Charge cut. Let's do that again. Maybe I should just take the Inspired Charge out. We keep cutting it. Because we keep ending up not really being the wide, aggressive deck we feel like we can be. But maybe it's better to bring this in when we see that our opponent is not doing go wide stuff too, because we keep dropping this when our opponent is also going reasonably wide, therefore it's not really doing the thing. Yeah, I'd say it's not very good in this format because kind of everybody naturally goes wide, Jinx, but I think this is a fine finisher. I think what's underrated about Inspired Charge is its capacity to be a bad combat trick. But a bad combat trick that wins the combat and defeats the creature you need defeated it's still a mode this has that people underrate, I think. And here I want the other Fragmentized. We do that. Dave doesn't like the set. Did you play or like either of the 2 original Kaladesh formats? Because I think it's better than either of the 2 originals, but the 2 originals took a lot of flack anyway. So if you just don't like what they're doing in this block, that's totally cool. And just make that trade, though. Oh, come on. Something's missing out of all of our hands. This time it's cheap stuff. We do have a Pioneer on 4 for sure. If we find any 2-drop or 3-drop in the next couple of draws, we get to do something by 3. I'm going to keep somewhat greedily. We could get run over here, but I guess maybe I'm tired of mulliganing, which is a bad reason to keep. But it's really more that we do have a lot of low drops. And we have both our colors, so any low drops we'll be able to cast. Maybe I'll consider Subtle Striking for a single Gremlin, especially, again, if we don't, we're just going to lose our Mastodon to the Gremlin or something like that. Let's see what else they want to do. I think I'm going to fire this off, though. I'm happy to have something to do, given that I was saying that was my concern about the hand. So yeah, I'm just going to do it. Interesting. Life is a resource, sure, but it's about the hope, Jinx, that we had something to do here. So, like, why did I do that if life is a resource? It had nothing to do with protecting my life total. That had literal 0 to do with protecting my life total. That was about saying, if this goes the way we want, we cast something next turn, and then we go into our 4, 5, 6 that's also crowded. So that's why I did it. And yeah, getting their subtle out is fine too. We're going to make a lot of small stuff. I'm going to go Pioneer here and look to trade off the Pioneer. And then we have something to Gearsmith back. Yeah, they used a whole turn on that. They're also stuck on 2 here, which is probably why they did it. And maybe a reason that we shouldn't race, but I'm doing this. We have a Gearsmith in hand and nothing to get for it. So I'm doing this so that we can have a nice target for our Gearsmith. And also to get the artifact removal off the board for the Mastodon. Oppo really needs that scry now, looking for land. We don't need the land. I missed their scry, did you see? Anybody catch their scry? I'm going to go this for max mana here. We can Gearsmith and Vigilance next turn. Well, Oppo finally having some of our struggles. Goggles are another fragmentized target, so is the Construct. We could really bring in 3, it looks like. A lot of real cards to be taken out for 1 mana. I'm just going to Demolition the Aetherborn, keep the pressure on here. And I am going to offer the Gearsmith. We have 2 other Gearsmiths in the deck, so if they trade Construct, Fireweaver, double block for Gearsmith, we are likely to end up just getting the Gearsmith back with another Gearsmith. Might take out the Fireweaver. What do you like killing? They're kind of similarly powered. This is doing more to us long term, but we're kind of winning the race now. This has more capacity to find another creature with which it can double block a Mastodon. Yeah, I normally think Weaver is the better card, but if we're in the more advantaged position, then we don't really care about our life total as much, and we might care about the power level of the card left. But I'll go with chat. It was close anyway, so chat's wanting the Weaver. We'll kill the Weaver. Scrapper Champ. Pretty nice, but there's the Gearsmith into Gearsmith I was talking about. I'm going to go Gearsmith. Actually, we just should attack with the Mastodon first, because we do get to kill the champ if they block the Mastodon here. But I'm not going to give it. I'm not going to give it Vigilance. If they want to take it, they can, and then we go Gearsmith, Pioneer, and make some extra chumps for the champ. We could also block and kill it on defense, though. Now I'm reconsidering. Mastodon, but we don't want to go Gearsmith into Gearsmith. There's nothing to get with the second Gearsmith. But if they block the elephant, then there is. We'll see. All right, so I am going to do that. We'll send the send the Mastodon. Okay, now there is Smith into Smith. That's worthwhile. find a land, we can double spell these. If we don't find a land, we actually get to choose from some other action. Man, given how tough mana has been for Oppo, I feel almost like we're failing here by not being farther ahead. I'm going to go ahead and take this trade, though. Although we could make another Pioneer and threaten to trade with it on the ground. With the Propeller Pioneer coming out to clock them 4 times, I'm just going to make these trades. Protect the life total. There's our land. We get to do both of these. Boom, boom. Reprised for sure. All right. Eddie Tail's going to get us there. Impressed with Oppo sticking this one out, right? They were stuck on 2 for a long time and have really made a game of it, and we don't have any guaranteed wins here. We're not like, we don't just got this. Second Mastodon, interesting. And it's interesting that they've done this because now we have good attacks with the Mastodon. We don't need to send the Hawk, like, especially with another Mastodon behind. And the Gearsmith trades with both. So interesting re-equip. I don't really like it. It gives us good attacks with 2 of our creatures. I mean, just swing with the Gearsmith too. Why not? This doesn't have first strike. I'll trade Gearsmith for either of these. Nobody expects the third Gearsmith for Gearsmith into Gearsmith into Gearsmith. For the full chain. All right, we picked one up, but well played, Oppo. Yeah. What looked like it should have been a walk in the park for us was still a hard-fought battle, so I liked how Oppo played that. And now we got to decide on third Fragmentize or not. We've seen some other stuff, but I think I'm going to stick with 2. Is 2 correct? They did show us quite a few things, but I think 2 is correct. Because if we get 3 of them, if we happen to draw all of them and they are light on targets, then they just become mulligans. And that's too bad. That's like not, that's rough. Is this a timing opponent? Yeah, maybe there are some things that could use some impeccable timing. What will we cut to include it? What was like our second? I just don't see anything else I want to cut. I'm going to send it back. More rough times in terms of an opener choice. We're 1 swamp away from being pretty darn fine. And we do have a turn 2 play. And we are on the draw. And we even have a turn 3 play with another plains. We would have to revoke something. I'm going to risk it. We need a swamp to win. Maybe this is greedy. I don't know. If some of you out there are tossing this back, I don't blame you. Maybe it's where I'm at today, but I'm keeping this. We're going to take our chances and see if we're never punished. I like that we have something else to do on 2 now besides Countless Gears Renegade. Swamp! Got a lot of 1 toughness, though. Like, this might die to a subtle strike. Swamp would be so amazing. Please! Took my chances. It's not working out here so far. No value Renegade. If we do unclog our mana, we're going to have stuff to do forever. So yes, I'm going to play this. Well, this happened to Oppo last game. All right, we broke out of it. Broke out of it. Boy, we have a lot of cards that could take care of a Weldfast monitor, but I'm going to send in here and see if they want to block, and then if they don't block, we decide what to do next. If they do block, we have Subtle Strike for awesomeness. Now, though, we have to decide, because if we want to kill the Screecher, we need to strike now so that we get an extra point of damage. I kind of like running a Screecher of my own, although I feel like we're going to get stricken back. Maybe we just do Revoke. Trouble is, this is also one of our great targets for Fragmentize, although if we get a Fragmentize, we probably want to start with Key to the City anyway. You like Artisan? Rob wants Artisan. Artisan, they're at 14. We can put the pressure back. You want an Artisan go wide? Then we can threaten to block the monitor, or do we not even want to block the monitor? We go wide, it increases the utility of, like, the Subtle Strike. It's not always, Jinx. If you want it, a heuristic is go wide unless you have a good reason not to, but it's not always. That's fair. Getting something worthwhile dead to Gearsmith is a good plan. Well, Weldfast is now going to get double blocked as a 5/2. Okay, they're going for the key, so we don't even get a chance. Yeah, we need to exile the engineer. But see, now we're at a tougher spot. We got a lot of things we need to deal with. And they're getting through for 6. They can go key on the engineer and unblocked Screecher. We're down to 3, and then key on either of these is straight lethal. Yeah, we may need to just go all out the other direction and hope that that we can race. And maybe they block something here, but if they probably just don't, though, Jinx. I don't know, but I think it's all we got. Like, we are way behind in this race. So okay, if they're willing to do this, that's wonderful. We'll take the trade. Unfortunately, still pretty behind. If we had 6 mana next turn, we could 2 removal. But the trouble is we don't have the mana to deal with all of this. And the key to the city is just like, we need Fragmentize. Give me Fragmentize, please. And now even that might not be enough. Well, Rough start. Looks like we're going to 0-2 with a very reasonable deck. There's nothing really wrong with our deck. We've just not had a great day at the top of it. Anything we can do here? I think we're probably dead. We can exile this key to the city, and then we only take... Yeah, we're still just dead. Yeah, swing out and hope they block. Threat. Maybe they'll fear it enough. I think you're right though, Jinx. It's a long shot, but it's like literally all we've got. If they just call this bluff, we lose. But we were losing if we stay back on D. So this is our only play left. And they called the bluff, unfortunately. So, like, now let's see if there's any way to win. We go revoke on... We could arrest the city. No, we're just dead. That was our hope, was that they block. They didn't. And we suffer a pretty rough 0-2. But yes, I did like that Jinx found the one thing we could do left that might give us a chance to not lose. All we could do is give Oppo a chance to make a mistake. But they didn't. You're usually in a bad spot when your plan A is Oppo messes up and there is no plan B. Because Oppo had key to the city, Gorgankle. If we make that play, the flyer gets through for 3, and they key to the city their other 3, and we take 6. Boom, dead. No problem. It's hard to process a Magic board when you show up late. I show up late to streams, and I'm just like, I'm going to wait till this game is over and then start thinking about Magic. That's fair. I mean, we know it's only a mistake because we have perfect information about our hand. That's all I meant. But to get an opponent to be super conservative, how about that? I think what they could probably read from the situation, though, I mean, I'd have to go back and look at it, but I imagine that our play for the turns leading up to that all suggested that we did not have that. So that, well, we can ask our opponent, hey, OTW, we've had a rough run, man. You just knocked us out of it. We were 0-1 and kept a sketchy third game hand that was a little clunky, and then didn't see any of our fragmentizes. Had all sorts of fragmentize waiting for you, but not at the top of our library, unfortunately. So here's what I'm going to do. We can't win prizes. So I'm going to scoop this match and give somebody a free win. Maybe they can win prizes. Although it's possible somebody gets mad because maybe they would just rather play. But sorry, you're going to get a free win. That final attack was effectively a bluff attack. We had no way to stop your key to the city plus flyer for 6. So our only way to... not die was to get you to block with one of your monitors, trade off, and then we did have removal for the other monitor, but one piece of removal wasn't enough. We needed you to give up one of your creatures on your own. Well, we thought we were representing Inspired Charge and the +2/+2 combat trick in white. I'd rather just do something else. I mean, heck, if you really want to see this play out, I'll play a match with somebody. But this is me just recognizing when the system... It's an arbitrage opportunity for the community. right? Like, I just gave somebody a win. I hope it gives them some gems. And if we want to play out the match, somebody challenge me. We'll play out a match. That's fine. But there was nothing on the line there, so I figured I'd give it to somebody. Hey, all we needed was a booster pack anyway, because look. 10. I like getting all those dual lands for constructed, too. That tends to be the stuff I end up crafting. All right, thanks, YouTube friends. Sorry for the O2 drop, but that happens sometimes. And we'll catch you later. I guess if we end up playing more games with that deck, I didn't even save it. So I think that deck is gone. That deck was fine. That deck was fine, and we ran into some rough luck today. It happens. And I'll talk to you all next draft. Bye.